Carlos Mendoza said that he understands the emotion, but that particular action of throwing your glove into the stands was unacceptable. Looking back on it, do you regret doing that?
No, I don't regret it. I think I've been looking the worst team probably in the whole MLB. So, whatever happened, happened. So
to clarify what you said, just because I didn't fully understand, did you say I'm on the worst team? Is that what you had said?
Yeah, probably. It looked like.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
Welcome back to another episode of Sweet Cards, Dude, presented by Houston Card Exchange. On tonight's episode, we're going to get into the Jorge Lopez tossing his glove into the crowd and getting ejected incident. We're going to look at some of the new card releases coming out over the next week. We'll take a look at Josh Gibson becoming the new MLB batting average leader. We'll talk about Angel Hernadez retirement. We're talking about some college students, student athletes getting paid, and we'll talk about the Conroe Sports Card and Collectibles show. Today is Thursday, May 30th, and our first topic of the day that we are going to discuss is the Jorge Lopez glove tossing incident. And so if you haven't seen this, then you are in for a treat. Yeah, Jorge Lopez, he was ejected from the game and then decided to throw his glove into the crowd. And because of that, he's now been DFA'd. And so we'll see where he ends up. But I mean, I don't know. This dude just has no kind of remorse for what he did. And I know you heard the comment. I mean, he's on the worst effing team in MLB. And so I don't know. We'll see what kind of impact this has on card prices of his, which I have to go check and see. I don't know what they are, but if they were down, they're probably even a little further down now. I don't know. Maybe they'll trade him away and he'll go somewhere else. But if you're an up and coming MLB player, just take note not to throw your glove into the crowd after you get ejected, and everything will probably be okay. Oh, and also don't tell the media that you're on the worst effing team. So that's my other pro tip for up and coming rising MLB stars. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about that in the comments. Was he out of line for throwing his glove into the crowd, or saying that he was on the worst effing team in the league? All right, let's get into some new card releases. So on May 29th, we have 2024 Fire Ball Game Relics Baseball Box, 2024 Bowman Baseball Mega Box in the 20-box case. We have 2023-24 Panini Donruss Optic Basketball Choice Box. That's coming out on the 31st. 2024 TriStar Hidden Treasures Autograph Football Jersey Edition Box. Disney Lorcana. Ursula's Return, a few different variations of that are also coming out on the 31st. Yeah, Disney Lorcana. I've seen that around a lot. I know that it's getting very popular. I know that when I'm checking out the shelves at my local Target or Walmart, those Lorcana spots are typically empty. So I know that it's a hot selling product. So if there's anybody that is into Lorcana, I'd love to hear from you. Just send me a DM or leave a message in the comments. And would like to get the lowdown on Lorcana and see what that is actually about. It's just because it's not a sports card doesn't mean it's not a sweet card, dude. Sorry. There'll be a corny sweet cards, dude, joke like that in every episode. Just expect that. So for June 5th, we have 2023-24 Upper Deck Synergy Hockey Hobby. We have the Upper Deck Marvel Flair Hobby. 2023-24 Upper Deck Extended Series Hockey, 2023-24 Upper Deck Extended Series Hockey Blaster Box, but it's a 20-box case. We also have 2024 Pieces of the Past 1800s Edition, 2023-24 Panini Obsidian Basketball Hobby Box. That'll probably be a popular one that's out there. We also have on June 7th, we have Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Twilight Masquerade Build and Battle Deck Box. They also have the 6-box case of that. 2024 Press Pass Premium Football Hobby Box. 2023 Panini Immaculate WWE Hobby Box. And then Pokemon Vibrant Padilla Mini Tin Display. 2023-24 Topps G League Basketball Hobby Box. And then rounding it up for the final release of June 7th, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the Twilight Masquerade Build and Battle Tin Display. I'm starting to get a little bit more interest into kind of the TCG aspect. I know we have had HTX Nerd, our partner that kind of is in that space. He's been pretty busy lately, so we haven't been able to have him on. But luckily, next week we will have a guest that is in the TCG space, and hopefully I can get a good rundown and better understanding of Pokemon and kind of what it is all about. I've been deep into sports cards. I have a few Pokemon cards that my son has picked up. Never really got into it when I was younger, but I know there's a lot of excitement about it. The last couple of shows that we've been to, there's been a big presence from TCG. I know that the Pokemon cards and TCG cards in general, that's a huge, huge market that most sports cards people don't even really take a look at, but it's bigger than the sports card market. And so that'll be an interesting and great interview that we have lined up for our next episode for next week. So baseball players and fans alike are learning more about the Negro Leagues after the statistics from more than 2,300 players, historic figures such as Josh Gibson, Oscar Charleston, Satchel Paige, and Mule Suttles were incorporated into the Major League Record Book following a 3-year research project. This Associated Press article is saying that there's a lot of praise and that it's long overdue, and I am totally agree with that. I mean, I've seen some posts out there where there's already like people that are showing their asses basically and their true self. Oh, well, they weren't in the league. Well, duh. I wonder why that was. I mean, come on. I mean, it's 2024. Let's get it together, people. But I don't know. This is long overdue, and I definitely agree. And it'll be interesting to kind of see some of the stories that come out of this and kind of all the different new players that a lot of people haven't been exposed to before in the past that will allow kind of other fans and people that are fans of baseball to kind of explore. And it's time, you know what I mean? Like it's long overdue. So in Topps fashion, they kind of have their pulse on what's going on all the time. They have a Topps now, Josh Gibson, 372 career batting average. I know this is so cool. I really like the back of this, and I'm just going to read this. It says a new king is wearing the all-time MLB batting crown. Major League Baseball announced Wednesday that they'll be integrating stats from the Negro League, which operated from 1920 to 1948. That change will seat baseball legend Josh Gibson at the head of the career batting average table. Gibson, who hit for a mind-blowing 372 average over his 14-year career, surpassed his Ty Cobb's record of 367. He also holds the single season batting average record as he hit 466 in 1943. That is crazy. That is crazy that these records have been out there, and here we are in 2024, and we're just kind of now like seeing this information. I'm sure the data has been out there, and it just hasn't probably been as accessible. But it's a really good moment for MLB and for baseball in general to kind of finally incorporate kind of this lost data that should have been out there forever. And you know, these players that were from the 20s and the 40s, they're kind of getting their flowers now. I mean, it's long overdue. And in other baseball news, the notorious umpire Angel Hernadez. We've all seen him. You've all seen the clips. You've all seen the highlights. I don't know. This dude, I don't know if he's getting old or he just can't see anymore. But like, I mean, we've seen the videos. Some of this guy's calls were horrible, but he announced his retirement. I believe it was at the end of last week, but his retirement was official on Tuesday. And so I don't know. This is an article by Cody Stavenhagen and Sam Blum, but it's titled with, I guess he had enough. And so I guess he's had enough. But I mean, when you start to dig into this story a little bit further, I mean, it looks like there was a financial agreement that was met. And so MLB probably forced him out, and they settled on a nice number to sail off into retirement with. But I don't know. He has some of the most controversial and heated exchanges that are out there. And so, like, if you haven't seen those videos, just go look up Angel Hernandez's greatest calls, and you'll probably find some really, really good videos to watch there, because I mean, it is, horrible. I was reading something about this yesterday as well too, and was stating that at the end of last season that he was like dead last rank in accuracy for calls. And so I'm sure there's another one that's right around the corner that's just as bad, and he will probably take the throne. That whoever that next one is will probably take the throne as the kind of the worst umpire in the MLB. So congratulations, Mr. Hernandez, on your retirement. But I know that baseball fans and teams and coaches and players alike are glad to see you hanging up the saddle. So good luck to you, sir. All right. So this next article, I saw this come out last week and I just like, what? So the NCAA Power 5 agree to a deal that will let schools pay players. You heard that right. Schools are going to be able to pay players. From this article right here from Dan Murphy and Pete Thamel, the NCAA and its leagues are moving forward with a multi-billion-dollar agreement to settle 3 pending federal antitrust cases. The NCAA will pay more than $2.7 billion in damages over 10 years to past and current athletes, sources told ESPN. Sources said that the parties also have agreed to a revenue sharing plan allowing each school to share up to roughly $20 million per year with its athletes. So what are y'all's thoughts on this? I mean, I have my opinions, and I feel that there's so much money in the NCAA sports ecosystem. More specifically, I would say probably for football and basketball is where a majority of that money is. But these schools have been profiting off of these students forever. And I understand it's school and they're there to get an education, but I mean, times have changed. I mean, the NIL stuff that has come up over the last few years has completely changed the fundamentals of recruiting. Everything that you've seen in the past is just kind of out the window. And this is, I don't know, they're going to pay these athletes. And I guess there's another way to look at this as well too, is they've been doing this all along. It's just been under the table. And so now it's out in the open, and these kids will be able, some of these kids that are coming out of conditions where they don't have anything, they're going to be able to put some food on the table for their families while they're at least going through school. I'm not sure what the criteria is that is going to have to be met in order for these student athletes to get paid. Is there a grade stipulation? You have to complete at least 2 years of school before you're eligible. I mean, what is the NCAA going to do to still make these student athletes students and not just athletes that are playing semi-pro professional ball at a college now? And so it'll be interesting to see kind of where all this kind of shakes up and how it lays out. But I mean, this changes everything. I mean, you're going to be able to go to school, play a sport, and get paid for it. I mean, I guess the only downside would be is that anything that was kind of under the table that you weren't able to claim, that you claimed on your taxes, now you'll have to kind of probably claim those on your taxes as income. And so, welcome to adulthood and the real world for these college students. So I don't know, what are y'all's thoughts on this as well too? You know, just leave something in the comments and we'll definitely respond back. Or if you have a hot take on this, DM me and we can discuss it. And so kind of to wrap things up today, the Conroe Sports Card and Collectibles Show is this coming weekend, Saturday, June 1st and Sunday, June 2nd. It's 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday and then 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. There's also a trade night on June 1st from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. It is going down at the Hyatt Regency in Conroe, Texas this weekend. That's all I can say. Like, this was the last show that we did. It was one of the best shows that I had been to in a really, really long time. There was so much traffic. The facilities are so nice. And it's just an all around good time. And so if you're going to be in the Houston area or anywhere in South Texas, be sure to get down to the Hyatt Regency in Conroe, Texas, and come out to the Conroe Sports Card and Collectibles Show. You're not going to miss us. Look for the Houston Card Exchange banners and you'll find us. As always, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to our channels. We're on Instagram, We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter, or X, I apologize. We're on YouTube. So wherever you consume, we're there for you. We're also on Apple Podcasts now. And so if you prefer to consume audio versus video, then we got you covered. Plus, we sound a lot better than we. So if you're taking that long commute home and you got a free 20 to 30 minutes, dive in. You won't be let down and you will be entertained. This is Sweet Cards, dude.